And we're back with some more Project Zomboid trailer trash. Okay, first thing I want to do today is check our tobacco. This stuff takes so long to grow that I want to make sure it doesn't get sick over a couple of days while I'm not paying attention to it. And we actually have some ready for harvest here. Now, we started with just a couple of seeds, but I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 packets over there, so I think I'm going to pull some of this out of the ground now. Yeah, we'll leave the other one so I get seed bearing. Oh, that's strange. I only have 3 fresh stalks of tobacco, even though I ripped up 4 plants. Maybe that one that had the fungus on it, maybe it was unhealthy enough that it didn't give us a full thing. Weird. I'll be more careful with that in future. Okay, so I do need to leave these to dry. I don't know how long for. I think quite a while. I think we might even have some already drying upstairs. So with the tobacco, we can smoke that in a pipe, and that means we no longer need to worry about how low our cigarettes are getting. Does mean Chloe has to start smoking a pipe. Okay, so it's been a while since we've checked the truck out, so let's spend the rest of the day looking this over. Okay, so the tires aren't great, but we don't have a lot of good tires. That suspension's starting to get a bit shoddy. Windshield's always bad. Okay, we'll have a look at what we've got in terms of spare parts and upgrade it. Maybe the next run we do in Riverside will be a vehicle scavenging run. Okay, some of these are pretty good. The car parts are, as a rule, quite heavy, so you spend a lot of time picking things up and putting things down. I'm not really making much of a distinction between whether something's a performance part or a budget part or anything like that. Mostly my concern is, will the vehicle run? Next time I actually go all the way to Louisville, then like before that, we would probably do our best to make sure the truck is in absolute tip-top shape with lots of spare parts in the back as well. Whenever I'm driving on one of those really overrun roads, I struggle to remind myself that, yeah, this is, I think, I forget, are we 0.4 population or something like that? Like, we're playing on fairly low population world. At no point, it might even be 0.2. It's pretty low. But at no point do I get to any of these places and go, you know what? This would be better if there were 5 times as many zombies on this road. Okay, so I think this is my my garbage pile over here. Okay, well that's not garbage though, so maybe I'm just not very organized. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to organize this better. We even built a nice little office over here. But yeah, I don't really have all the various parts in various boxes. I guess one day I'll have to clean my room and get it all sorted out. So we even saw some parts over here. Okay, suspension was what we needed. Some of these are good. They're all better than what we've got on there. We'll run with those. Now, at the moment, we are just repairing the truck itself, or the cab. Is that the term? The trailer is actually a separate vehicle, so that we need to look at as well. I'm not sure if it would make any difference to put the better ones in the front or in the back. I'm not sure that matters. Now once we put on these tires, we are going to have to remember to pump them up. That takes a long time. But if you don't, and if it's a new tire and it has no pressure in it, it will fall off as soon as you try to drive the car, which is quite funny. I don't know if we need a new muffler, but that one's in pretty good condition. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, so I actually grabbed the front window before we wanted a windshield. Slight distinction. Well, I mean, complete distinction, but linguistically, they sound very similar. Okay, well that's looking a lot more green now, but yeah, so this tire has 0 pressure. Okay, let's have a quick look at the trailer as well. Okay, so it's got 4 tires on it as well. That rear door is a bit knocked around. I'm not sure that matters greatly. It's not like if it's broken or open that zombies can get in or things can fall out. We'll work on that if we're going to. We'll do it in the morning. Let's stop and have a little smoke. Another snowy morning. So I don't mind how much Chloe smokes now. Now that we're growing our own tobacco and it's starting to come out of the ground, that problem is solved. For a while there, we were like a true addict, counting out how many cigarettes we had and how long we thought it could last for. We don't loot a lot of zombie kills, so that's one source of cigarettes that we sort of lack. Oh, very thick fog. Okay, well, our trip is cancelled. I'm not driving around in thick fog, even though the roads here are clear and I know them very well. It's just too much of a pain. Okay, so while we're gonna dither around the base for another day or two, I've installed a mod to let me draw lines, or traffic lines on the ground, so I figure we can touch up the garage with some of these. Yeah, I think that's gonna look good. I don't know if this is using up my white paint, but I've got quite a bit of paint. Paint's one of those things that's very hard to collect if you don't have a big vehicle. Like, it's quite heavy, and it's very rarely going to be your priority when you're looting a warehouse or a home or anything like that. Yeah, paint, bags of gravel, bags of plaster. I'm sure most players look at that as just, well, this is just stuff I don't need, ever. But look how cool that is. Fix this thing's windscreen. Windscreens always break. Hit one zombie and you lose your windscreen. Okay, I have to measure this one out a bit more carefully. So I could clean the floor here with bleach. I could even go around and like re-gravel the entire floor. I think I like the broken textures rather than just painting the entire floor grey. But yeah, I think it's better as it is. It has a lived-in look without looking like a total crack house like this building looked like when we first got here. Okay, so I don't think this is using up the white paint at all, because I haven't had to swap tin yet, so it's either using very, very little of it, or it's not actually using it and you just need it in your inventory. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, compared to painting a full wall segment with it, we're not using a great deal. Okay, I like it. What if there's a mob where I can get some, like, warning signs and loading dock signs and things? I'll have to look around for that, but I probably won't. Okay, we're going to duck outside to check on our tobacco once again. So it has been raining pretty much non-stop for the last few days, so yeah, we don't need to water any of this. Yeah, another 160 plus hours until it all becomes seed bearing. So I haven't got most of the rest of the garden planted at the moment. Yeah. We do have a lot of tobacco seeds, I was just checking. So 72, I could replant the entire thing if I need to, but I think it's still worth waiting to haul that in as seed bearing stuff. Then I could plant an enormous field. The barn, at one point I was thinking of turning it into just a big grow house. In fact, that's also something we're considering over this fence, so we cleared out the entire forest over there. I could just plant just an enormous tobacco farm. I mean, I don't know why I'd want to do that. Like, it's not like I can sell it to traders that come past to buy psi trainers and power armor or anything. Funny, I'm always careful when I come out the doors to the base, but like just while running around it like this, I'm never worried that there might be a zombie in the perimeter. Bit of a disconnect. You can see the solar panels up in the barn there. Another solar panel at the front door. If I had a couple more solar panels, I would hook some up at our forward operating base at Riverside. I'm probably going to have to go all the way to Louisville to find a really big haul of solar panels. But we're still grinding our way towards level 10 reloading. But it's not something that we're in a real hurry to get done. Okay, time to armor up, get our guns. We're heading to Riverside, so I think, among other things, we'll start looking at some car parts. I think every car we use... Okay, we've got the little sports car. Everything else is a heavy, which is nice. It means we can restrict ourselves to just looting one type of car. I guess it would only be a problem if you run out of that type, but yeah, it's not likely. We'll put on some of this and we'll just drag some more in our bag. I may as well take all these. Probably only be at Riverside for a day or two. Yeah, we've got plenty of spare food here. Okay, not an early departure, but it is still before midday. It only takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to Riverside. Just depends how many zombies we meet in the road. If we find a couple, we might stop to deal with them. There's almost always one zombie on this road. But sometimes quite a lot more than one. That squish sound is satisfying. Okay, so this is all clear, and again, the corner we're about to get to often has maybe one loitering around, but we did clear that road past the corner as well, so maybe that's... Okay, zombies. Zombie to the left of us, zombie to the right. That's interesting. Maybe just, I don't know, we seem to have very good line of sight today. It's bright, the winter effect. I don't know if it makes it easier to see through the trees or if it just makes some of the trees physically smaller. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, see that's why we don't just like jump out and check the bodies we loot. I would not have thought there'd be, what, like 6 zombies within very, very rapid response time to that. Okay, I should wait for these guys to get closer. I'm just spitting bullets in the air. Yeah, that's like 8 zombies already. Okay, so this isn't the turn off to Riverside. There's a little farm up here. I think we found one of our trailers here. Oh, this is where we pinch some of our mannequins / scarecrows. Up to the right, you can see that building that isn't an actual building, so that's where it's a map artifact. I think a newer version of this map will probably have a building there. But we're in a sort of an older, depreciated version. Yeah, so I mean, we definitely did a whole bunch of killing here at one point. I guess maybe we just haven't entered this cell in months and it's respawned. We do have respawn on. It's very low and very slow. So it takes yeah, I think a couple of months of us not visiting somewhere for it to respawn, and then it only respawns like a percent or something like that. So even though we've there'll be areas in Muldrow, for example, that we haven't been to in at least 12 months. We're not going to go there and find it like fully stocked again. Just enough zombies to keep you honest. Like here, I can't just jump out of the car and wander into one of these buildings, pick up a fridge and walk it back to the trailer. You know, there will still be a couple of biters lingering around the place. And of course, we're driving a truck, we're honking, we're shooting our guns, so we're pulling things from at least some distance. Yep, we're definitely pulling things from the northeast now. Oh, my precious M16. Don't leave me. I think we've got 3 of these, and they're all starting to get a bit dodgy. I guess at some point we'll start cannibalizing them and repairing. I think repair is based off aiming, so if we can get our aiming up over the winter, that would be better. We can cap that out, and then we can start breaking down our good guns. So these zombies we might actually try to get out and search. Problem is, I always think it's kind of like cooking popcorn. We're gonna, like, the last time we honk or shoot our gun, then we have to wait 2 hours or so to let any zombies that are still on their way here actually get here and poke their head out. Okay, well, it's still light. We've got fairly good line of sight. We've got all these gorgeous fences to fight over, so this is about as safe a spot as we could be in to get jumped by things. So once upon a time I'd have said we were looking for cigarettes. Now, you know, digital watches still give us electrical XP and electrical components. Socks are super lightweight and we can use them for cloth, sheet rope, whatever. Knives, we'll take any knives we find. at one point we might start training up spear use. Oh, doll. Okay, so this was not our intended destination. We're trying to head to Riverside, but this was an interesting aside. Yep, there's a knife. Cool. So when we get to Riverside, this is why we'll do a drive around to see what's there. Although we visit Riverside itself so often that there shouldn't be any respawns. This is probably just far enough away from the highway that we can drive past it without triggering the you haven't visited this area thing for the spawn calculation. Okay, well I think that'll do me. Let's get back in the truck, turn the air conditioner on. Okay, I think I'm going to pause it once I get to the forward operating base. So, you have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.